Welcome to Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO, the great big small bank. We find ourselves back once again in south central Nebraska, near the town of Wilsonville on SR Farms Alfalfa Company and Husker Hay Haulers. Steve Rice is joining us once again. And Steve, 2023 is just the year that won't relent, it seems like. I go back to our last episode. We had just had a major hailstorm that basically mowed everything off. But to catch viewers up, that wasn't the end of it. As you were trying to build back from that initial hailstorm, another one came in. So kind of tell us where we're at right now in the hay growing season.
Well, we're all over the place as far as that goes. Unfortunately, we had that hailstorm with the big stones in it mid-June, and then we got a nice regrowth coming back. It was actually making a recovery, and then Mother Nature dealt us another blow and mowed it off again. We lost about 350 acres for the second time in the valley here, and then the pigweeds start coming back and the regrowth, because it's getting into early August when it's coming back. So we lost weed control, and we've put up a lot of round bales this year, probably more round bales this year than we have in the last 10 years combined because of weather conditions. So like I say, we're finishing up on some second cutting that was hailed, and we'll be baling some third cutting in the next day or two. So our crops all over the place as far as maturity.
And to give people an idea, obviously there isn't quite an average year in farming, but over a long enough lifespan, there seems to be some ones that come out. Typically, where would we be here by mid-August had you not faced some of these challenges with the storms?
Well, and not only the storms, but also lack of moisture. It's kind of twofold, because we're seeing areas of our farming practice that has multiple, like 14 days worth of moisture in a month, but only getting 1.5 inches of rain out of all of that moisture. So all it's doing is messing up hay, and it's not really helping the dry land. So we're way down as far as tons, terribly down as far as quality, and it's dry. It's going to get hot here into this week. We're going to make some nice quality hay, I hope, but it's not going to be a lot of it. There's not a lot of high quality forage in Southwest Nebraska.
And then that leads me right to the question then, because like we had talked early on, going from last year, at least the drought quality had been there. Dairy quality had kind of helped make up for things. But this year, if you're talking about losing tons, and then the timeliness of the little bit of moisture you've got has hurt quality, where does that put us if we were already on tight hay supplies?
Texas is calling, Oklahoma's calling, even East Texas is calling for stock cow hay. And our dairy quality hay is way down. Quite a few tons worth of low quality hay in Kansas and Nebraska, and maybe even Colorado. So the lower quality hay, there's probably going to be an abundance of that. But as far as number one dairy hay or horse hay in this area of the country, it's going to be in real short demand or supply.
So given the fact that we're starting to kind of get into a little bit later of the growing season, we're already at least one, if not 1.5 cuttings off in this. From your perspective, trying to care for your ground, where are you in management, and what are you thinking kind of going forward to do what is best for the fields?
Well, we're currently going over that. In fact, we did this morning. We had a meeting, and we're assessing our stands with the hail damage. Some of those fields were damaged hard, and some of the plants didn't survive between the drought and the hail, and then all of a sudden the weed pressure. We're rotating out some fields that we might not rotate out quite this fast on an average situation. So it's going to take a lot of management as far as looking at your stand and your longevity of that, and maybe pulling the trigger and saying, okay, we're going to rotate this out instead of something else. And maybe, we did some sorghum sedan on some stuff as a rotational crop to give us some tons here this fall. And we may be looking at maybe some millet or doing some rye on first cutting to help build some tonnage.
Yeah. Out again is Steve Rice, SR Farms Alfalfa Company, Husker Hay Haulers here in Wilsonville, Nebraska. And this has been Fridays in the Field, brought to you by FNBO.